Welcome to English for Professional Mechanical Engineers. My name is Yiji. I'm so happy to have this chance to speak to you today about a topic of sustainable technology. This is a topic essential for a student of engineering college who will be engineers as a career in the future. What kind of technology is good for me and nature? What should be considered for an engineer when we design? We will start this section with the crux of technology. Humans often overestimate their own abilities and underestimate the effects of the environment. History tells us we don't have enough resources because there is only one Earth. Therefore, we cannot keep consuming the nature unlimitedly. We cannot keep producing waste unlimitedly. In addition, we need engineers to design good products to develop sustainable technology. Wait a minute. But people and cattle both are creatures on the earth. Why do people have to learn sustainability while cattle don't? Let's come back to look at the fundamental element of the universe again, energy. We mentioned the law of conservation of energy. It means energy cannot be created or destroyed, even though it may be transformed from one form into another, but the total amount of the energy never changes. Now, let's discuss the energy conservation of the Earth. Our planet's energy comes from internal and external sources. On one hand, there are two internal sources of energy. Geothermal energy is from radioactive isotopes, and rotational energy is from the spinning of the Earth. On the other hand, the sun is a major external source. So, these are the income of energy of the Earth. Next, let's look at the outcome of the energy of the Earth, or how the energy is consumed and converted. This is how the energy on the Earth is consumed. All creatures on the Earth need energy to survive. Every kind of animals and plants, even tiny teething living creatures, consume energy to survive. Of course, based on the Einstein equation, E equals mc squared, mass and matter is also one kind of energy form. As a result, you may be aware that all creatures consume energy and produce waste, like the cattle in the figure. Number 1. The cattle consumes energy for living. Number 2, waste is produced after utilizing the food energy. Number 3, the waste is decomposed back to the energy of food for the cattle to eat. In this cycle process, the cattle produces zero waste because all waste comes back to the production line and being reused. Is this kind of circular thinking familiar with you? Okay. Here is a figure introduced in the section of sustainable life. Actually, this is a rhythm learned from the nature. It's important to remember that circular thinking is needed as an engineering design. So, all creatures on the earth need energy to survive. However, they only consume minimal energy to keep their survival. Human beings are different. People are exception in that. 1. Human beings need extra energy consumption for travel, entertainment, and so on. 2. Human beings produce extra wastes which cannot be broken down or recycled by the nature easily. Then, when the human population is growing remarkably, We consume lots of resources and produce lots of waste. Therefore, based on the law of conservation of energy, human beings convert the energy of resource into the energy of waste. Then this is what we can see, a barren land. Yes, the earth still has tons of energy, but in a form that we don't like to see. A barren land is the form of energy that we don't appreciate. Just like waste is a form of energy that we don't appreciate. Now, can you realize why do people have to learn sustainability while cattle don't? Next, let's look at some examples. First, I would like to ask you, is making a diaper technological sustainable? Probably you don't know that the life cycle of a diaper is 550 years. It's very odd. We create diaper to save time to take care of a baby. However, the products will cost much longer time to process afterwards. Do you really create a time-saving product? Is it true that the waste does not exist as long as we don't see it? Now, I would like to share the core to the application of technology for you, the future engineers. Engineers should think about the rationale of resources use. How many resources? Their environmental impacts. 1. The scale of resource, usually smaller scale, smaller impact. 2. The complexity of the technology, usually more complex, bigger impact. A sustainable technology should be bottom up. It means the fundamental component is terminal technology users. In addition, the users should be capable of maintaining the technology locally, economically, and technically. So far, we have learned a negative example of a diaper which is not sustainable. Next, we will give a positive example of sustainable technology. This is a TED Talk, Learning from a Barefoot Movement. The speakers start an extraordinary school. They built Barefoot College in 1986. They teach rural women and men, many of them illiterate, to become solar engineers. It's the only college which is full solar electrified. All the power comes from the sun. So, as long as the sun shines, they will have no problem with the power. And the beauty is that it was installed by a priest, a Hindu priest, who is only done 8 years of primary schooling, never been to school, never been to college. However, he knows more about solar than anyone in the world. Meals. They have 60 meals twice a day of solar cooking. But the people who fabricated the solar cooker are women, illiterate women, who actually fabricate the most sophisticated solar cooker. Please remember that a sustainable technology should be bottom up. It means the fundamental components is terminal technology users. In addition, they should be capable to maintain the technology locally, economically, and technically, just like these women in the photo. In addition, 60% of children don't go to school because they have to look after animals, sheep, goats, domestic chores. So, the children can only go to school at night, and it's for the convenience of the child It's not for the convenience of the teacher. Finally, as you may see in the 9 schools, all the schools are solar light. This is a good example of sustainable technology. And here is the homework for this section. Please answer, what is sustainable energy? Secondly, please find one example of sustainable energy beyond what we have introduced, like solar, wind, nuclear, AG energy. Okay, after showing the example of the barefoot movement, I'm saying goodbye to you in this section, sustainable technology. I'm so happy to share this idea with you. Thank you for watching. Hope you have learned something important from this section. Have a good time and see you in the next one. Goodbye.